What up, Grifter Gang? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, we are going to be reviewing, no, not reacting. We're going to be tier listing, putting on a tier list, ranking the Idubbbz content cop videos. These videos are really old and were definitely an edgier time of YouTube. This is not a promotion of the act of these videos, but this was definitely part of, if you grew up on the internet, this, and you were in the sort of commentary space during the internet, this is a huge part of your childhood, or, you know, a little bit of your adulthood even. And it's just historical sites. We gotta look at it. You know, a couple of movies back in the day, movies back in the day, very historical movies, had some racist caricatures. This is the similar thing. Even though we don't agree with the messages of these videos were, first of all, hella influential. Secondly, they were hella entertaining. With the disclaimer out of the way, we're going to be reacting and reviewing. There's different metrics we're going to be reacting to this. First of all, the entertainment value. Secondly, the effectiveness. And thirdly, the choice of the target, meaning was the choice of the target justified or not. So let's start out with the first one, content cop Jinx. This is honestly a excellent start. Not as I think as effective and not as influential as the other videos, but this, I think, pretty much terminated the Jinx React channel. And honestly, if Idubbbz was here today, he would probably do another content cop on all these fucking like streamers and YouTubers, just like the Grifter, who react to stuff and don't really promote everything. So, you know, we can hate on Idubbbz, or Idubbbz can even hate on himself for his videos that he created. But they had an influence. They had certainly a positive influence on all these grifters, all these Hasanabis, all these Asmongold, all these, you know, all these pyro TV channels, just looking at stuff and not really adding too much to it. You know, XQC, you know, going out to take a drink, going out to get a coffee, pissing for 30 minutes, and then coming back to the video. It's insane. This is definitely a warning to those channels. I think somebody's going to pop off and make a couple of I hope somebody comes back and makes a couple of content cops on the React channels that we have today, because it needs to stop. So this is so influential, I think, on the YouTube landscape, and it was really entertaining because Jinx Reacts is just such a horrible channel. It doesn't really have anything positive to say. So for that reason, we're going to put this guy, this video, I think we're going to put it in A tier. I really like this one. Second one, I believe it's the toy review channels. There's two of them where I think we're just going to put them in together because they're pretty similar. I think these were a lot less effective. I think definitely this whole Elsa Gate, these toy reviews channels, they needed, and they really needed to stop. But I think even in himself, he says that this isn't really like that bad of a person. And I think that overall, this one is not a one that we're going to go down in the history books as like a real like hard hitter. It was funny though, for sure, especially when he dressed up as a SpongeBob costume and just did a couple of freakouts. That was funny as hell. I laughed many times, even rewatching it. But it just wasn't as effective, and for that reason, we're gonna put it in C tier. Okay. How to prank it up? Okay, how to prank it up. I think the same situation here, wasn't as influential. I don't think the things that he like talked about was as hard hitting. He wasn't as vicious. It was more of a lighthearted couple jabs, a couple of things. It didn't really, I think, affect his channel too much. And I think if you went somebody more famous, like a slow flow Antonio, Sam Pepper, that kind of channel, another big, much hard hitter channel, it would have been a much more effective. But how to prank it up didn't really have that much of a following. For that reason, I think the video's all right. but it's not the greatest, especially for his channel. I think it's a much weaker one. And compared to everything, I think we put it in a D tier. Let's get right into the news with Keller Keemstar. This video started the hate train of Keller Keemstar, calling him a rat, a gnome, all the names in the book, a snake, I think even. This video was fucking hilarious, really, really funny. The only problem I think why it's not going to go in full S tier is because it didn't really kill the target was good, the jokes were great, the criticism was, I think, well deserved. The problem is the influence is really the part that's lacking, because if you don't know, Keller Keemstar still has a thriving channel here today. He has a couple of decent podcasts. And I think we kind of turned around to it. I think we're starting to like a little bit of Keller Keemstar a little bit more than we did back in the day. So overall, almost perfection, just wasn't as good. Just that influential part just wasn't as hard hitting. But definitely, the attacks were warranted against Keller Keemstar. Okay, had a like the fart, like the guy who just who ate food. This one, same thing, a little bit weaker. I think this is one of his funnier ones, and I think he was really wholesome. Giving those kids that like those like milks and stuff. I think that was a really wholesome bit. I just think there's just a couple of things that kind of like turned it down from great. The influence wasn't that great, and the target I think was a lot less. Just not as good. Who should we go on to next? The Fine Bros. I think the Fine Bros one, I think he even said it himself. The Fine Bros one at the time, I mean, they're copywriting the word react was definitely too much, I think. And also this one is kind of more of a cash grab video, but it was definitely, the criticism was warranted, and overall pretty entertaining video. C tier. Now, we're going to go in some hard hitters. But before we go to the hard hitters, we're going to go to the tech channel guy, whatever this one is. This one, I think, it's a pretty weaker one. I think it should go into C tier. Now, we're going to go in the three most influential ones. I think, first of all, we start off with the Tana Mojo one. I think this is the one which, even like as an edgier guy myself, I still think that the Tana Mojo criticism wasn't really that valid. I mean, all she said was say the N-word and then take it back. I don't really get exactly what happened to her. Plus, she got like kind of screwed off by Cody Ko. If you don't know that story, you should look it up. I think overall, looking back, and I don't think she really deserved it that much compared to these other characters. And for that reason, I think she should get a B tier. Asian Jake Paul, however, shit, that hit hard. That was, I think, his second best one. I think we're not gonna. You know what? I think we're gonna put it. I think we're gonna go a little controversial. I think there's a couple of the good thing is that of course, RiceGum. First of all, the target was perfect. Secondly, I think the influence was felt now because his channel is dead in the water right now. Thirdly, the arguments, the entertainment value was really good, especially with that PewDiePie, song. But the fourth thing I want to talk about is I think the arguments weren't as good. I feel like these maybe were a little bit more superficial. And if he did like maybe a little bit more research, found something new evidence to pop it up, I think this would have been a lot better. But I still think it's a really, really good video. I think the Leafy is here one, even though if it's just like an ad hominem attack of character, not really attack of like what he said and everything like that. I think it's perfect. It's making a Leafy video to Leafy. Killed his channel. That's definitely like a hard hitter. A little bit of a conspiracy on that part. We don't know if YouTube killed the channel or was it Idubbbz. Ooh, we don't know. There's a conspiracy there. But this video was great. It was really, really funny. This is a top tier content. What's this? What's this, Mr. Old Idubbbz? What is this one? I don't know what this is doing here. Is this I missed old Idubbbz? Me too, bro. Me too, bro. I don't know who this guy is, but I really miss it, this guy. Just trolling. Obviously, I think his response wasn't good. I think it would have been a lot... If I was Idubbbz, you know, I didn't agree with my content, obviously, I think I would have made a content cop and kind of exploring at each point why I disagree with my old content. And, you know, I could look back, maybe critique myself, maybe do it in a funny way. It would have been a lot better than a whole like lecture about why my content is bad and cruel. I think it would be a lot more effective if he did like a good edited video to say I don't associate with that content anymore. I think it would be a lot better. So we're finished. I hope you guys agree. I think my placement is pretty goated. I know last time you said my pyrocynical video was pretty trash. But you guys said my numbers video was pretty good. My numbers tier list was pretty good. So hopefully this one is good too. Love you guys.